Hello everyone, this is GATE 2023 Life Sciences, Section P Biochemistry, question number 30. In a population, the probability of a susceptible individual getting infected with SARS-CoV-2 is low when majority of individual in population becomes immune to this virus. This phenomenon is known as dash. Options are A. Innate immunity, B. Adaptive immunity, C. Active immunity, and D. Herd immunity. This is the NPTEL online reference course in which the general types of immunities are explained. So what are the different types of immunity present in our body which helps us to fight against various pathogens? So immunity is broadly divided into innate immunity and adaptive immunity. Innate immunity is the body's first line of defense against germs entering the body. It responds in the same way to all the germs and foreign substances, which is why it is sometimes referred to as non-specific. So innate immunity is non-specific, and it is a first line of defense. For example, whenever there is a bacteria which is trying to enter into our body, it acts very quickly so that it inhibits the pathogen from entering into our skin. So skin is also part of innate immunity. Also, the nasal cavity has lining of cilia and mucus lining and cilia. So these are part of examples of innate immunity: mucus lining, cilia, skin. These are all examples of innate immunity, and as you can see, these are all non-specific. So whichever bacteria, gram positive, gram negative, or any virus for that matter, they will first try to restrict those pathogens into entering into our body. So this is first line of defense, and it is non-specific. There are additional chemical substances like acid, enzymes, which prevent bacteria and viruses from entering into the body further. For example, the stomach pH is very acidic. It is approximately 0 to 1. It is very acidic. So many of the bacteria which are entered into our system through food or through any other sources are killed in the stomach due to very high pH. Only few bacteria like Helicobacter pylori and acid resistant bacteria can survive the stomach pH. Okay, so innate immunity is the first line of defense, and it is very much non-specific. And the examples are mucosal lining, cilia, skin, stomach pH, various enzymes in mouth and also in stomach which kill off the bacteria. The second type of immunity is adaptive immunity. As opposing to innate immunity, adaptive immunity is very specific. Okay, it is very specific. So adaptive immunity takes over the immune system if the innate immune system is not able to destroy the germs. So if the bacteria escapes the mucus lining, cilia, skin, some bacteria, like I mentioned, they also escape the stomach acidic pH or the enzymes present in the stomach. Then the adaptive immunity comes into picture. It specifically targets the type of germ that is causing the infection. Okay, so it is very specific. So for identifying the specific germ, it first need to have a specific set of mechanism which will be able to recognize the germ and then remember the germs. So we have specific recognition, and then we have memory. So these are very important factors of adaptive immunity. There is recognition and there is memory. And this adaptive immune system is made up of T cells, B cells, and antibodies. Many of the blood cells are a part of adaptive immunity. We also called it as humoral immunity. So adaptive immunity is further divided into natural and artificial. So we can have adaptive immunity which is natural. Natural in the sense our own body is able to make T cells, recognize T cells, have a memory through B cells. Naturally in the body there are few specialized organs. Artificial is not through our own body, but it could be via vaccines. We can use vaccines to increase the adaptive immunity response. So in natural we both have active and passive. So what is active immunity? Active immunity is more common than that of passive immunity. So active immunity refers to immunity instinctively as we expose to new bacteria or strange pathogens. Okay, so whenever there is infection, like whenever the bacteria enters into our system, we recognize it and we create a memory and we destroy the bacteria. This process is actively occurring inside the body, in our own body. Whole process is actively occurring in the body without any external contributions. Whereas passive immunity refers to any contributions that are not made by the body. Okay, so these are external contributions, that is why it is known as passive, and these are less common as compared to active. Okay, so example of natural passive immunity could be when the fetus is growing inside the mother. Through placenta, the mother provides IgG antibodies. IgG antibodies pass through placenta from mother to baby. This type of immunity is passive immunity. It is natural and passive immunity. Whereas in case of artificial active, the example could be vaccination. Okay, we take different vaccines. We take vaccines wherein the antigens are exposed inside the body, and these antigens are not at all harmful. So we get a slight fever. That slight fever is our body recognizing this foreign antigens, and after recognition there is a strong memory by B cells. So this is how vaccines work. And passive, artificial passive, when antibodies are transferred. So from blood transfusion or person who have or the people who have strong antibody against some diseases, those blood transfusions could help the other person fighting. Externally transferred to the person, and hence these are active artificial passive immunity. Okay, now coming to herd immunity. So herd immunity, this is also known as population immunity. So red individual is infected, green individual is immunized as in even the virus encountered by this individual already has immune system that will it will have immune system fighting against that virus. And these blue individuals are susceptibles. By susceptible I mean, if the virus is encountered by them, they are most likely to get the disease, for example, to get COVID. If we consider SARS-CoV-2 virus. Okay, So these are the two populations here. Now this green one, which is immunized, this immunized person, this immunization could either be because of vaccines, or the person has already got COVID and now it has active antibodies inside him, and hence if the virus is encountered by this individual, the active antibodies will fight with the virus. And also the vaccines, as I mentioned earlier, they have vaccines are the antigens which will help body to recognize and create a memory, and when the virus is encountered by these individuals, the memory created by this immune system will get activated and it will produce antibody and it will fight against virus. So this green individual is already immunized. So here this red individual is transferring a disease. Okay, so the upper case here, A, is without herd immunity. If there is no herd immunity in the population, so what will happen? So this red individual which has the COVID virus, he will spread to this susceptible individuals which are blue in color, and this susceptible individuals will spread the virus to other two individuals. Okay, since this green is already immunized, it will no longer carry the disease and it will no longer spread the virus to other people. Okay, so he will not spread the virus to the other people. Okay, so in a population without herd immunity, now we have from one individual, okay, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 infected people. 6 from one individual. Okay. So in case of herd immunity, so this red guy is already infected. Suppose it came in contact with 3 individuals which are already immunized. They have antibodies or they have vaccines which have the memory. So they will no longer able to get any infections, and hence they will no longer transfer any infection to others, and thus from this one infected will get 0 other infected individuals. So this is herd immunity. Very classic example of this herd immunity was seen in Mumbai locals. So Mumbai locals was made available during second lockdown. So during second lockdown, people were allowed to travel through Mumbai locals only those who are already vaccinated or immunized. Okay, people who were already vaccinated and immunized were allowed to travel in Mumbai locals during second lockdown phase. Second lockdown phase was also very severe, if you know. And what government of Mumbai was observed that in population of Mumbai, though because of traveling or the crowd during the Mumbai local, as much as they avoided large number of crowds, there were still crowds in Mumbai local. There was herd immunity observed. Like even there was many crowd, the susceptible individuals which got infected were very less. Okay, and this was the classic example of herd immunity. So coming back to the question, in a population, whenever there is a population, the probability of getting of susceptible individual getting SARS-CoV-2 is low when majority of individual in the population are immune to the virus. So immunity could either be if the person was already infected or they have already been vaccinated. So this phenomena is known as herd immunity. Thank you.